It usually starts with something small, a faint rattle on a cold morning, a puff of extra smoke when you accelerate, a strange smell after parking. Most diesel owners ignore these early warnings. They think their engine is too tough, too heavy, too built for abuse to be harmed by a few bad habits. But the truth is the opposite. Diesels are strong, yes, but they are also incredibly sensitive machines. And the smallest daily mistake can shave years off their life without you ever seeing it happen. Today we're diving into the 7 quiet, easy-to-miss habits that slowly choke, clog, and beat down a diesel engine until one day it simply gives up. And to understand how these mistakes cause long-term damage, we need to start with the most common one that almost every diesel driver is guilty of. Mistake 1, the short trip killer. It sounds harmless. A quick drive to the store, a school drop-off, a tiny 5-minute commute. But what those short trips do to a diesel engine is brutal. A cold diesel burns fuel poorly, builds moisture in the oil, and never reaches the temperature needed to clean itself out. Your DPF can't burn soot. The oil gets diluted with unburnt fuel. Condensation creeps through the system. Every one of those tiny trips stacks up like paper cuts. And before long, your engine is running chronically cold and chronically dirty. But this habit leads to something even worse that most owners never think about. Mistake 2, lugging the engine at low RPM. Diesel engines feel powerful at low RPM. That low grunt makes drivers think they can stay in high gear all day. But when the RPM drops too far, the engine is forced to work under heavy load with little airflow, little cooling, and unstable combustion. This creates violent internal pressure spikes that hammer pistons, bearings, and the transmission. People believe low RPM equals fuel savings, but in a diesel, low RPM under load is one of the fastest ways to beat the engine to death from the inside. And low RPM abuse often goes hand in hand with another slow killer. Mistake 3, pushing oil changes too far. A lot of diesel drivers follow the long oil change intervals written in the manual, 12,000 miles, 15,000 miles, but the manufacturers write those numbers for ideal conditions, not real ones. Diesel oil gets dirty fast. It collects soot, moisture, fuel, and microscopic metal. Over time, that mix turns into liquid sandpaper. Fresh oil protects, old oil destroys. If someone's engine hits 300,000 miles, it's almost always because they changed their oil early, not late. But even perfect oil won't save an engine from the next mistake, which happens every day without drivers noticing until it's too late. Mistake 4, excessive idling. Many diesel owners think idling is good. They think it keeps the engine warm or saves the starter motor. But idling does the opposite. When a diesel runs at low idle for too long, the combustion temperature drops, moisture forms in the exhaust, carbon loads up in the cylinders, the oil becomes contaminated, the DPF can't regenerate, and the engine essentially sits there cooking itself from the inside. Modern diesels don't need long warm-ups. They need proper load, proper heat, and proper airflow. And long idle sessions make another issue much more likely. Mistake 5, running cheap or dirty fuel. Diesel injection systems operate at insane pressure, 30,000 psi in some engines. That means the smallest grain of dirt can scratch injector parts. Water in fuel leads to rust. Bad fuel lowers combustion quality, creates more soot, and forces the DPF to work overtime. Fuel issues always start quietly. Worse fuel economy, more smoke, rough running. But by the time the symptoms show up, the damage has already started. The worst part is that low-quality fuel directly affects the next mistake, which almost every modern diesel owner struggles with. Mistake 6, interrupting DPF regeneration. Modern diesels are built with one job they must complete regularly: burning off soot inside the particulate filter. This process needs high temperatures, usually more than 100 degrees F. But regeneration requires steady driving. It can't finish if you stop the engine too early. Most people never realize when a regen has started. They turn the engine off mid-process and soot stays behind. Then the soot hardens, then the filter clogs, then the engine tries to regenerate more often, running hotter and reducing power. Eventually, the DPF can't clean itself at all. Replacing a DPF can cost more than some used diesel cars. But even drivers who avoid all of that still fall into the final mistake, and this one surprises almost everyone. Mistake 7. Babying the engine too much. Most people think driving gently protects the engine, but in a diesel, driving too gently creates a new set of problems. The engine never hits enough RPM, the turbo never spins fast enough, the EGR gets clogged with sticky soot, the cylinders never experience the pressure needed to keep carbon from building up. A diesel needs occasional exercise, higher RPM, strong airflow, full combustion. A weekly highway run through the engine's healthy RPM range helps clear deposits, clean the turbo, and restore proper breathing. Without this, the engine slowly chokes, not from failure, from never being allowed to operate the way it was designed to. And now that you know these 7 silent killers, there's one more piece you need to understand to keep your diesel alive. Diesel engines don't die, they are killed. Most diesel failures don't happen suddenly. They happen one small habit at a time: cold, short trips, low RPM strain, overdue oil, long idles, dirty fuel, interrupted regenerations, and the slow suffocation that comes from babying the engine. But the good news is simple. Every single one of these mistakes is preventable. Treat your diesel the way it was engineered to be used. Let it warm up through driving, not idling. Keep it in the right RPM range. Change the oil early. Run clean fuel. Let every regen finish. And give the engine a weekly stretch so it can breathe again. Do that and your diesel won't just survive. It will run clean, strong, and stable far longer than most people think possible. Some engines go past 300,000 miles. Some go past 500,000. And the difference between the engines that live and the engines that fail almost always comes down to the daily choices of the person behind the wheel. Your diesel is tough, but even tough machines need the right habits. Take care of it, and it will take care of you for years to come.